Recorded Books and One-Click Digital present Even in Paradise by Elizabeth Nunez. Narrated by Corey Allen. A quote from King Lear. Think'st thou that duty shall have dread to speak, when power to flattery bows? Chapter 1. I met Corinne Ducksworth when she was a young girl just turned 12. There was nothing about her, or about the day I first saw her, to give me the slightest warning that years later I would fall hopelessly in love with her. At 16, I considered myself already a man, and Corinne, to my mind, was still a child. She had come with her father, Peter Ducksworth, to the race tracks at the Queen's Park Savannah, in the heart of Port of Spain, Trinidad's capital, and I had come with mine. My father, being a stickler for punctuality, had insisted we arrive some 15 minutes early, and I was forced to wait on one of the green wood benches that lined the sidewalk around the savannah, while my father paced, glancing back and forth from the racetracks to the street, checking his watch, and mumbling under his breath about the inconsiderate people who think nothing about wasting other people's time. He was facing the opposite direction when I saw the Ducksworths coming toward us, the daughter skipping ahead, 2 thick plaits swinging across her face, legs long and gangly, like a young colt's, girlish knobby knees, the father trailing behind her red-faced, huffing and puffing. Sorry, old man. He extended a thick, sweaty hand to my father. Had to wait for her. He tossed his head in his daughter's direction and pursed his lips, as if he were angry with her, but I could tell he was pretending, for I did not miss the gleam in his eyes. I had already been told that Corinne Ducksworth was Peter Ducksworth's favorite child, the youngest of his 3 daughters, the apple of his eye. Oh, Daddy! Corinne raised herself on her tiptoes and kissed her father on the cheek, disarming him completely. The lips softened, the gleam intensified, proving the rumors not unfounded. You know I was the one waiting for you, she said gaily. Had to have my coffee. Peter Ducksworth grinned sheepishly at my father. Keeps me alert this early in the morning. My father shook his hand and then glanced again at his watch. The Ducksworths were 5 minutes late, an eternity for my father. Sun will be up soon, he grunted. It was dark, not quite dawn, the stars still visible, shining like diamonds in the navy blue sky. Dew beaded the grass in the savannah, skirting above the cool, damp earth and signaling the first hints of the coming heat. It had rained all week, and the ground was sodden beneath our feet. Along the path to the racetracks and some distance beyond, the savannah was potholed with pools of thick mud that clung to clumps of grass, making it seem as though tiny brown and green bouquets, tied with string, had been deliberately planted there. Corinne was far ahead of us, skipping happily again, a silhouette of arms and legs flung backward and forward, until she slipped, and I saw her go down, sliding across the wet grass. Peter Ducksworth roared with laughter and quickened his pace toward her. Well, you wanted to come with me, he said, stretching out his hand to help her up. I told you it would be messy here. She screwed up her face, lips and nose twisted comically, turned away from him, and tried to brace herself up on the palms of her hands. Feisty, I thought. But she slipped again, and this time I rushed to help her. Her hands were clotted with mud that spread over mine when I pulled her up, and for a split second, our eyes met. Was that the moment she pierced my heart? Don't know why they call this a savannah, Ducksworth said, casting a disapproving eye at me before turning back to his daughter. Look at your shorts. They're covered in mud. He fished out a handkerchief from his pants pocket and handed it to her. From where I stood, I could see there were brownish stains on it. Daddy, she cried, and pushed away the handkerchief. It's filthy. I told you I'll wash your clothes if you put them in the hamper.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?